If you've been following the messages out from the IRS about the non-filers, about automated enforcement, if you listened to the podcast with Rocco Stecco, the Director of Collection Policy, you know that the tidal wave of work in representation that we've been waiting for is finally here. There has never been a better time than either to add this to your existing practice or build up this area of your practice. So now is the time to join Tax Rep Network. So the question is, what is inside Tax Rep Network? Well, there's over 180 hours of technical training on everything representation you can think of. There's 40 hours of marketing training to help you build your practice. There are dozens and dozens of marketing pieces and assets that you can use in your marketing. You also have access to the help desk. It's unlimited consultations with us, not only for technical tax cases, but also our marketing team to help you grow your practice. You'll get access to the entire Tax Rep community through Tax Rep Social. It's our social network that is inside Tax Rep that you can talk with other members, share best practices, get questions answered, everything. You get access to the business lien database. Over 3 million businesses are listed in our lien database. You can look at your area, identify those businesses that have tax liens filed against them, and do some targeted marketing. You get access to the entire library of books. It's a no-brainer. So join over 500 other members around the country and start building your rep practice, add that extra 100,000 this year in 2024, and get back control of your professional life so you don't have the tax season grind, or at least you don't have to do it if you don't want to. So go to taxrepllc.com, come in, join us. There's no contract, cancel anytime, but we think you're going to find that we are going to literally transform your practice. All right, taxrepllc.com, and we'll see you inside. How do we move documents back and forth with clients that are secure, that we know we have backup, so we have continuity, and that we can organize folders so that the clients know exactly where to send us the documents, which documents to send, and save us hours of time instead of going through some 300-page PDF to have everything organized. We use SmartVault. SmartVault is a secure way to get documents back and forth from clients and keep everything organized. And we've found that instead of 3 hours of onboarding clients with their documents for a collection case, let's say, and organizing everything, it takes us all of 15 minutes now, and everything comes in organized, right? If you go to smartvault.com/Eric/Green, you can book a demo with SmartVault, and if you tell them that you are affiliated with Tax Rep Network, they will give you a 20% discount. Okay, so go smartvault.com/Eric-Green, tell them you're affiliated with Tax Rep Network, get a 20% discount. Put this in place. It will actually make it more secure, avoid data breaches, and just organize everything for you. So how do we onboard clients? Make sure we get paid and not chase them. Now, you've heard on the podcast, I've talked about this. We get phone calls, we do an intake, we send a letter. We're too busy, all right? Out of sight, out of mind, right? So at the end of every year, we have 20 or 30 of these intakes that we never followed up and they never signed up. Well, we started using Ignition. Ignition allows us to automate the retainer agreement, getting all of our documents signed, getting the checklist out, all right, to the client. And if the client doesn't do anything, it automatically will follow up with them. We get alerted when they open and read it, when they sign it, and when we get paid, right? Ignition has literally cut our onboarding time. We're saving over $400 on every file, that we don't have to spend the time drafting, sending stuff, following up with the client, or not following up at all. Last year, we went from, let's say, that 20 to 30 letters we had left over. Let's assume it was 25. We only had 4. All right. We closed 21, and with our average case being around $8,300, I'll take the extra 160,000 of work. Ignition will literally automate all of this, and you make sure you get paid before you do anything, whether it's a tax return, whether it's an offer in compromise, whatever. So right now we have a special deal for our listeners. Go to ignitionapp.info/Eric Green. Use the code TAXREP-1, and that will entitle a new customer to get 50% off for the first 3 months they use Ignition Pro or Pro Plus. All right. So ignitionapp.info/Eric Green. Use the code TAXREP-1. Get 50% off for the first 3 months for either the Pro or the Pro Plus plans, and just automate your whole onboarding process. All right. It will literally change your practice. So what do we use at Green and Sklar's to manage all of our rep cases? Get transcripts, do the ongoing monitoring of transcripts for clients that are paying for it, do all of our resolution forms, our powers of attorney. We use Tax Help software. All right. And I've had Roger Nemeth on the podcast. It is the best software in this space, bar none. Okay. It honestly, and the report, when bankruptcy attorneys ask us and we can send them the report, we charge $1,000. All right. You can actually go to taxhelpsoftware.com/TRN, as in Tax Rep Network, taxhelpsoftware.com/TRN, and that will get you, if you want, a fully loaded premium product from Tax Help Software for 6 months for only $250. It's a no-brainer. If you haven't tried Tax Help Software, go check it out. It is literally what we use to run our entire tax practice. Right? taxhelpsoftware.com/TRN, right? That will get you the opportunity to get the fully loaded premium product for 6 months for only $250. As you know from the podcast, S corporations and reasonable compensation of the owners of S corps is a hot button topic right now with the IRS. In 2024, they are going after S corps and reasonable comp. So how do we make sure that our client is taking reasonable comp? How do we sell clients on converting from an LLC to an S corp? You need to have a reasonable comp report. If you do a 990, you're supposed to check that box that you have a reasonable comp report that backs up those salaries that are being taken by that nonprofit. Do you? The answer is RC reports. RC reports will break down exactly in line with what the IRS is looking for and what the case law says. It will go through what the owner does, the different duties, and how much time they spend. It will generate a report based on the size of their industry, the size of the company, and the geographic location. With that report in hand, we have never had an auditor challenge it. Generally, you give them the report that backs up the number. They'll flip through, and say, "Can we keep a copy of this?" By all means, that's your copy, and that's the end of the issue. Where clients haven't taken it, we have used RC reports to actually negotiate for what the real number is, because the government's going to get super aggressive and try to make everything salary. That's not the rule. All right. You can save $100 on the premium account for RC reports by going out to trn.rcreports.com. TRN is in Tax Rep Network, .rcreports.com. It'll save you $100 on a premium account. And again, remember, S Corp and C Corp clients, 990 clients, they have to have this. And this is something you charge for. This is a moneymaker for us. It's not another piece of overhead. I think it cost us around, with a discount, like $1,300 or something like that, because we get the premium product. We run many reports. We're charging, between $750 and $1,000 at a clip. We'll bring in somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000 on that software. Right? This isn't just some overhead we're going to eat. Clients who want to have an S Corp, C Corp, or have a 990, they need to pay for this. It's part of the deal. They're expected to have it. So trn.rcreports.com, go save $100, right? Implement this, And trust me, not only will you make money with it, you will bulletproof your clients' returns and allow you to sleep much better at night. Hey guys, how would you like to grow your practice this year through CFO and business advisory services? We have partnered, meaning Tax Rep Network has partnered with the CFO Project. What the CFO Project does is it helps you launch a CFO practice so you can make money providing planning and advisory services, which, let's be honest, is actually the fun part of being a tax pro, right? They offer a free masterclass, right? So if you want to get access to the free masterclass, you go to thecfoproject.com/TRN for Tax Rep Network, thecfoproject.com/TRN. In this free 1 hour masterclass, you're going to learn how to escape the accountant's trap, what business owners really want from a CFO advisory service, and trust me, it's not what you think. How to determine if you're qualified to provide these services, how to get business owners to pay top dollar for your CFO/advisory services, how to get new clients to your practice, and how to approach existing clients to offer them this. How much should you be charging? And how to provide a CFO or advisory service in the most efficient way possible so you make the most amount of money and provide the best value. All right. So go check out the free class. All right. A lot of our members have done this and have started adding this to your practice. We've already had one at over 100,000 this year. All right. In 2024, we're not even halfway through the year yet. All right. So go to thecfoproject.com/TRN. Check out the free masterclass, and this is something that you can add to your practice right now. It'll be more interesting, it'll make your practice more fun, and it's far more lucrative. Hey guys, thanks for listening in this week on the podcast. I'm Eric Green. What I want to talk about, so on June 11th, we're going to be doing one of our 4-hour workshops on mastering IRS offers. And, so we always get questions about, well, what is it going to cover? What I want to talk about, I'll mention what's in the workshop, but an IRS offer-in-compromise is literally a formula. It's called reasonable collection potential. And so to understand and to be able to master offers, it isn't complicated. It's really understanding the process and understanding what's called this RCP, or reasonable collection potential formula. Because one of the other questions I get a lot of is, well, which offer do you use? Do you use a lump sum offer? Do you use a periodic or the deferred offer? What is this effective tax administration? Here's what I tell you. The numbers, the formula, is going to tell you what to do. I'll give you an example. So for those of you who are not familiar with offers, you really should be. I mean, this is the cornerstone, in my mind, of representation. Even though it's not really, understanding compliance, I mean, that's really actually in a way more important. But this is what brings clients in through the door, is can we settle the debt for less? Can you help us save money? Can we avoid the penalties? All that stuff. So the thing about offers, there are 3 types. There's doubt as to collectability, there's doubt as to liability, and something called an effective tax administration offer. We can dispense with the doubt as to liability pretty quickly. It's really audit reconsideration is what it is. It's where you make an offer, but it's not about ability to pay. It's IRS, I can prove I don't really owe this money. And, we have programs that we cover that. But what I want to focus on, and what we're going to focus on June 11th, is doubt as to collectability, which is where the taxpayer can show they can't full pay, right? They're unable, between equity and assets and future income, to full pay the liability before the collection statute expires. And there are 2 types within that. There is a lump sum offer or a deferred offer. Now, the 3rd type is something called effective tax administration. And what an effective tax administration offer is where the taxpayer on paper can full pay. but where for public policy reasons, we shouldn't make them. Now, I just want to tell you that is a very hard sell to a government bureaucrat on why they could collect the liability, which is not in question, but we shouldn't. So, as you can guess, these are very rarely given. I believe last year, the statistics I heard, there were 52,000 offers filed. Roughly 40% were accepted. Why? Because 60% were filed by people who don't know what they're doing. All right. So 40%, right? So that's about 20, a little under 21, all right, thousand were accepted. Of those that were effective tax administration offers, 3. So this is something that is very rarely given. You've got to have really good facts. I've done successful effective tax administration offers twice. In both cases, I had somebody who was either disabled or elderly. They owed money. They had just enough. They could have full paid, but if they made them full pay, they would not even be able to cover their allowable expenses. You would be putting them on welfare. That is not the goal of the government. It's not to put people on welfare. I know it doesn't really feel that way, but that's not their goal. And so that's where we could go and say, look, you could full collect that, say the whole 450, but you got to leave them at least 180 because, and we would explain why. These are the number of years left in their life expectancy. Here's what they need to make up the shortfall from their Social Security, whatever. And we could show the government the number. Those are the types of ETA offers, effective tax administration, that get accepted. You have really strong facts. You can explain it to the government. And by the way, the offer unit can't accept it. It has to go to Office of Chief Counsel to be reviewed. So that's the other type of offer. But what we're going to really be covering during the workshop, what I want to talk about briefly now, is understanding and mastering the doubt as to collectability offer. And again, there are 2 types, lump sum or deferred. The way that they're calculated is different. You have the future income piece, which is the monthly income minus the allowable expenses. And you have net equity and assets, which is, you have fair market value, 80% quick sale value minus any loan or encumbrance that's ahead of the government, gets you to your net equity. Right? Yes, there are some wrinkles in there about cash and automobiles and other exemptions, which we're going to cover during the workshop, but which you should know. But that's basically the formula. So if you're going to do a lump sum offer, it's the net equity and assets and 12 months of future income. You put 20% down when you submit the offer, the other 80% when the offer is accepted. You have 5 months from the date of acceptance to make the payment. With the deferred, you start making monthly payments and you have to continue that. Cannot be more than 24 months. It's got to be more than 6 months, but no more than 24 months. And the calculation, again, is net equity and assets, but 24 months of future income, not 12. So which one do you want to use? What's driving your RCP formula? If you have somebody with very little future income, but net equity and assets, I want the 24 months. It gives me more time to pay. I'll probably have less money on the table in case it gets rejected. I mean, we get 93% of our offers through. I tell you that for 3 reasons. 1, brag, right? I mean, we teach this stuff. I like to know what we're doing. 2, it shows you the importance of understanding these rules. This is not very complicated. But the 3rd reason is, note I told you 93%, not 100. Our clients don't exactly tell us everything either, or they don't maintain compliance or whatever, right? I mean, my clients are the same as your clients. But this is something you can master. It's not that complicated. All right. I'm telling you, give us 4 hours on June 11th. You can master this. No problem. So anyway, and for those of you who are tax rep members, we have like 20 hours of training on offers and collection in the members area. So you've got all of that at your fingertips. But anyway, so depending what is driving your RCP formula is which offer you're going to pick. So the numbers will tell you what to do. There's no great mystery to this. We go through the analysis with the client, and at the end of that, it's pretty odd. I mean, I'll walk the client through both their options. It's up to them. But if they have some decent future income, you don't want to do the deferred. You're almost going to double the amount of the offer. Much better with the lump sum. So it really comes down to understanding the process, understanding the formula, and being able to. I mean, this is how we make money. We charge $2,500 just for the analysis. And so the way that this works, client calls up, they don't get to me, they get to Nicole. Nicole does the intake. It's Joe Smith. They owe $250,000 from the following years. Okay. What we would tell them is, look, we take $2,500 upfront. We do the analysis. We will then, we got to pull transcripts, how much time remains on the collection statute, get all the backup. We do the analysis. Right? That takes us about $1,000 to $1,500 of billable time. We got $2,500, so it's profitable. We then will walk the client through their options. So if we're going to do an offer, they know why they can do an offer and what their options are. If they can't do an offer, they understand why they can't do an offer, but then we may have some suggestions, some strategies for them, legitimate, where they can potentially line themselves up to be an offer candidate. After which, if we are going to pursue an offer, right now we charge $6,000 for an offer minus the $2,500 we've already taken. So we would just need another $3,500. Virtually every client loves that. Wait a minute, so I don't have to put all the money up front and you're going to actually do the work and walk me through this? Where do I sign up? We close 99% of the people that call. Now, I say 99% because I can't think of one that didn't. Much better than those national. I don't consider the national companies. They're not competition. People would much rather deal with someone local that they can, even if it's over Zoom, someone that's local, they know that's there, they could meet, and are doing it that way. One, really sells the client because they don't have to put every dime up front, not knowing what's going to happen. And from our perspective, our pitch is, look, if you aren't an offer candidate, we have better things to do with our time. You have better things to do with your money. If you're going to get forced into a payment plan, well, then just let's get you into a payment plan, right? Why would I want to waste a lot of your valuable money throwing stuff at the wall that we should know is not going to fly? Clients love that. And so we sign up almost everybody. And if you think about it, once we've gotten through most of the work, now the $3,500, we pull the package together, we draft the letter, send it to the client to review. But these are very profitable for us. They're highly profitable for us. But, do I feel bad about that? I get that a lot. Do you feel bad? No. We've done this for 25 years. We get over 90% of our offers accepted. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the experience. You're paying for, when we draft that letter, for those of you who are in the workshop and get those sample letters, you'll see how we go through and highlight things. We want to lead the offer unit where we want them to go. The letter is more than, dear offer unit encloses the taxpayer's offer. No, this is our opportunity to pitch, to explain, to make sure that we highlight certain things or explain things that are a little weird. We often just get offers just accepted, where we're not going back and forth. The cover letter, the art form of drafting that and making sure you have the right backup and it's organized in the right way. Our job is to make the offer unit or the appeals officer, if we go to appeals, and we often have to, not often, but probably 50% of the time, our job is to make the reviewer's job agreeing with us easy. And that goes for everything, whether it's innocent spouse, penalty abatement, an audit from an appeal from an IRS audit, offer, doesn't matter. This is why we get paid what we get paid. All right. It's really to understand the process, understand the formula, be able to articulate that and provide real guidance to the taxpayers, and know that when you submit that package and it goes in, it is the very best package you can do. All right. That's what the client's paying for. That's why, no, I don't. In fact, I got to tell you, 6,000 is a bargain. The other thing I get a lot is, well, why don't you take a percentage of what you say? Well, first of all, practically, they can't pay the government. How are they going to pay us? But more than that, it's a violation of Circular 230. This isn't an ethics program, but it is actually a violation of Circular 230 to take a collection matter on a contingent fee. You're basically under Circular 230. We are not supposed to take matters on a contingent fee unless you meet one of the three exceptions, which are credits, refund claims, or like litigation, like whistleblower type, cases. So you can't do someone's tax return and take a contingent fee based on how much you can save them. Now, you could do an amended return to get a refund. A refund claim is something you can do on a contingent fee, right? One of the things that is not an exception to the ban on contingent fees are collection cases. That would include offers in compromise. So you cannot take it on a contingent fee ethically, but from a practical perspective, the client can't pay. So now I'm going to have a receivable. How am I ever going to collect it? I don't want to spend the next 20 years chasing this client. So no, we do it as a flat fee. What allows us to do that generally is we get everything up front and we can do the analysis. If we have the very odd situation where it's highly complicated, there are issues that we're not sure how this is going to go, we don't have to do it on a flat fee. I mean, I have done some offers. One of them that's actually in one of our testimonials where we resolved and knocked, I think it was a $7 or $8 million liability. We knocked it down for a couple $100,000. That we had a business valuation involved, whatever. In that case, we took a $15,000 retainer and we billed hourly. And I think in total, the client spent close to $25,000. It was highly complicated and it was not a slam dunk. So we're not locked into this flat fee, but that's 99% of what it is, and they're generally straightforward. So listen, the takeaway from this week's podcast, if you don't really feel comfortable with offers, you can master this. It's not that complicated, I promise you. You give us 4 hours, you're 95% of the way there. If you're a tax rep member, go roll up your sleeves and dive into the training. We're here as your help desk for unlimited consultations. This is a way for you to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and frankly, get your life back under control. So you're not killing yourself during tax season and all the other crap that you're probably doing now. And listen, there are 25 million taxpayers in trouble. There's no shortage of work, right? So listen, hope you got some decent information. I hope I have given you a little bit of a push to, you can do this, all right? I want to motivate you to up your game. 2024 should be the year you master this, and now you can start putting out stuff, marketing this, bringing in clients, start making a lot of money, helping them. And by the way, once you solve their problem, you've got a client for life. They will not leave. You're the person that resolved their issue. The other thing you're going to find, by the way, which has always interested me, our tax rep members who've gotten their CTRC, they're certified, they've started putting that out. They find they just start getting new tax clients. And when they start, well, what brought you in? Even if they don't have a tax problem, they said, look, I don't have a tax problem, but if I do, I know you're a person who can handle it. So by elevating this aspect of your practice, you're going to elevate your whole practice. Because the message out to the public is we can help you with taxes or accounting or whatever else you want. But if you have a problem, you've come to the right place. We can solve it. We have no problem dealing with the IRS. We can get this sorted out for you and put it behind you. That is a powerful message to potential clients. So thanks for listening in. I hope you got a lot out of this. Go check out the link below. Join us in that workshop. All right. Or frankly, join Tax Rep. If you're a member, you get the workshop for free, but you get access to everything else as well. All right. This is the year. Get your certification. Master this aspect of your practice. Build it up. Start making the money that you deserve and start saving taxpayers. All right. Guys, have a great rest of your day.